Oh, we are live today. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just watching it snow. We got about 6 inches here right now.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It is just nuts right now. I know. We are going crazy up here as well. So we're going to let everybody get on board. I know it's the first show after the holidays, so we're going to give people some time to snuggle up by the fire and join us. All right, so this is a really interesting topic we're going to talk about here in just a minute. Wow, I've got something that I have never seen on here. This is really an interesting thing that just popped up. It's just always interesting what comes up. But we are talking about omni-channel marketing, what it is, and why you should be using it. Now, really interesting fact about this. I've got a friend of mine that kind of tunes in off and on, watches the replays or whatever. But he texted me earlier this week and he said, "Man, I've never heard of omni-channel marketing." It made me go out and Google it and see if I could figure out what the heck y'all are talking about. So just with that, I thought, well, that's fantastic. We're going to have some really good conversations. Hopefully, he can get on today. Don't know if he can or not. He's working on a couple of other things, but I think it's a really interesting topic. A lot of people don't look at it as omni-channel marketing and what it is and why you really should consider using it. So we're just going to jump in. Carter, you ready?
Well, so I'm looking at this error message that's popping up. I'm wondering if we need to end the broadcast and restart it and see if that'll clear up the issue we're having on Facebook because currently we're not live on Facebook.
So let me remove that. Okay. Let's see what we got. Remove destination from the broadcast. So, okay. So I've done that, but we are not on Facebook. So let me do this.
I think I can add it right back though.
Yeah, I'm just not quite sure how.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. So if you can get on there and add that back. So guys, just kind of hold on just a minute. We will
Looks like we're good to go now.
okay. Do we
At
have
least I'm getting
Facebook?
it. It
Yep.
looks like it. Yeah, it looks like we
Looks
got the
like
check
it's on
mark there.
there. Okay. Hey, thanks guys for being patient. We had an error that came up and had to kind of deal with it. So, um, Carter Harkins, Taylor Hill here. If y'all don't know who we are, there we are. There we are. All right. Yeah, I'm glad we have a couple of people because I'm telling you, I was just saying, I've got a buddy of mine that got in touch with me earlier this week and said, I saw your advertisement on Facebook about what's coming up this week. And man, I never heard of that. So it made me go out and actually do a little research on what omni-channel marketing is and exactly what it does. And he goes, and I'm excited about this. So I'm really glad that he let me know that, and I think it's something that you guys will really get a lot out of. So Carter, now that we've got the error cleared, let's go ahead and start. So guys, omni-channel marketing, what it is and why you should be using it. So let's talk about what it is to begin with, Carter.
Yeah. So omni-channel marketing is one of those scary words that marketers like to throw around because it sounds, really impressive and everything else. But just to break it down, omni-channel marketing means that you're using every available means at your disposal to reach your customer. And that means the platforms that they're on, like in the digital space, that's Facebook and Twitter, and not just Facebook, but Instagram and YouTube and all of the different places where your customer spends time. You want to be able to reach them. It's also ad platforms like Google Ads and the Google network of places that you can put ads on other sites and things. The let's talk about some of the other offline channels like direct mail and neighborhood advertisements and periodicals and things that reach your customer in their area that way. All of these things add up together to be multiple channels, but instead of calling it multi-channel, we're calling it omni-channel. And the reason for that is because we want to be able, as marketers, to know everything we can possibly know about our customers and their behaviors and the places they spend time and the places they live and all of that in a consolidated one view. We want to be in all those places simultaneously. And so omni-channel is the word that we use to describe that. And the more we can do that, the more omnipresent we can be in all of the different places where our customers are, the more success we'll have in reaching them with our message and getting them to respond to an offer and become a customer when the time comes. So it's a pretty cool deal. And it used to be the holy grail in marketing. Now it's the expectation in marketing. Now there are tools that make it easier to do. It's still a pretty big deal, but there are tools now that make it easier to do. And it's becoming more and more accessible to local businesses that don't have some big national brand budget, to be able to play in the space too and have omni-channel marketing, or pretty close to omni-channel marketing.
Yeah, and the other thing about omni-channel marketing that I want to just bring up, it's not just about where you market. It's also about what are the devices that you're on, because we're not always on the same device. Everybody used to have a telephone. So where would you market? You would market the telephone book because we all had telephones. Well, yeah, you're saying, well, yeah, but we all have phones. Yeah, we have smartphones, most of us, but we also are on iPads, we're on laptops, we're on desktop computers, we're on all these different devices. And let's just take the mobile phones that we have. Some of us have Apple. Well, which Apple phone do you have? I mean, every time I turn around, they're releasing another iteration of it. Same deal with Android, Google phone. Are you a Samsung? Are you a this one? Are you a that one? I mean, so it's not just all the channels, but it's also the devices that we're using to access all those channels.
And appropriate messages on each one of those platforms and each one of those devices. So if somebody is on Instagram, for example, we know that what they're expecting are images. Specifically, images that are interesting for some reason. So Instagram is a great way to tell a visual story, before and after pictures and things like that. So you would put a different kind of message on Instagram than you might put, say, in Google Ads, right? Google Ads are more people who are looking specifically for a service to provide the service that I need and do it quickly. They know what they need. They're not interested in pictures. It's not about before and afters and all of that. It's about social proof, and reviews are that kind of social proof. And then what's a phone number, or how do I contact them to get them to come do the job? So different messages, different platforms, but also the device has a lot to do with it too. To simply think that designing your website for desktop and ignoring your mobile browsers or your mobile devices and the customers that are coming to your site that way, you're missing a real opportunity. There are certain things that you can do for the mobile user that are specific to that platform or that device that can help them engage with your content more meaningfully. And it's a different experience. It's a different channel than the desktop. So we spent a lot of time thinking about all the different differences and the ways that we need to customize the message in order to reach the customer on that platform, on that device.
And with that said, really what it does, it creates this instant conversation between a consumer and the business. I mean, that's the whole thing about it. So with that in mind, I'm going to create a conversation between us and you. So what am I going to do? I'm going to ask you, there you go. I'm going to ask you to give me a thumbs up. Chuck Roydhouse was jolly on the spot, man. I mean, he's just jumping on it. So that's awesome. So give us a little love. Give us a thumbs up on there. I mean, that's how we have the conversation. If you have a comment, if you have experienced the omni-channel, or if you think, wow, this is really interesting, Never thought of it like this. Love to have your comments to come up. All these things are the conversation that we have when we do these lives. So that's just part of it. This is a channel. What we're doing right now is part of the omni-channel communication that we're really talking about. So let's talk a little bit about the seamless customer experience. Okay, because from a retail shopping point, it's easy to kind of get this, but if you're a service guy, I mean that's our client base is we are service people. So how does this thing work if you're a service guy, Carter?
Yeah, it's making sure that there's consistency between every channel, that you're not using the brand new logo that your designer made for you and your website company put on your website, but that logo still hasn't reached all of your business cards and your truck wraps and your uniforms and things like that, right? I mean, those are chances to tell people who you are, and if you're showing a different experience or a different look and feel to one group and then to another, that kind of disjointed experience just adds speed bumps. It's little mental speed bumps in the road of the customer experience. It's not seamless, in other words. So there should never be a question. And if a customer goes, well, that name sounds familiar, but is that the same company that I just saw their truck on the road? I'm not sure. That sometimes is enough to get them to bounce and keep moving on until they have a company that intuitively, like, there's no confusion about, right? So it just makes sense to them, and so they're ready to do business with that company because there was no question in their mind about whether this was the company that I think I remember seeing or whatever. So, seamless means, removing all of the obstacles to where across every channel and every device, there's continuity in that experience for that customer.
Yeah, and even when you talk about mobile devices, laptop and desktop, there is continuity that you need there as well with messaging, your colors, your logo. It's the same kind of branding. So we get back to branding in this. That is kind of the base level of it. Is everything that you're doing, are you seeing the same things across all the channels? Are you putting out the same messages across everywhere? Are you doing all the things that you need to do so that it all looks concise? So my big word, and I think the word that I find is very apropos, if you will, among every successful business that we do work with and ones that I've seen outside of us and the people we work with, but are very successful. And the word that keeps coming up is consistency. I mean, so it's consistency of messaging, consistency of brand, consistency of color palette, consistency of logos, consistency across the board seems to win the day, if you will. And that's really what I'm talking about. And it has to be consistency of answering the phone, consistency of delivering the product, consistency of being there when service is requested. It's the same thing that runs through our operations, that runs through our marketing, that runs through everything that we do as a business. It has to have that consistency. And that seems to be the one thing that I keep coming back to, that is it's just required of a business to really do a bang up job in marketing, because marketing comes full circle when you do that, and it's consistency through everything, and then that full circle is they come back the next time they need service.
And I mean, I just hear a lot of business owners say, "Well, I do a good job. I mean, I do what I do, and I do it professionally. I do it well. Customers are always happy with the job that I do. I don't know why I need to pay so much attention to my marketing message or my logo and making sure that I'm on all these different platforms and everything else. I mean, good enough. Nobody's complaining. I don't understand why I need to, spend all this extra effort and go to this extra mile in order, to do anything different." And really, I mean, it does come down to what your objectives are about growth. And, um, you know, creating a frictionless business, you'll find that spending time and effort in these ways to create on omni-channel marketing also reduces the friction points in the transactions with customers. It becomes an easier business to manage. By creating a seamless customer experience, you've basically told your customer what their experience is going to be with you. You've set an expectation for what it is to work with you. And when you meet that expectation, then, you've got a really happy customer that tells more people about you. So it becomes an easier business, less friction, less misunderstandings, less potential points of mismatch of expectations between you and the customer. And that just becomes a joy to run a business like that. It's much, much easier to do. And you'll find that growth becomes easier too, because you've built on a solid framework and groundwork for that growth to happen in a frictionless way. A lot of people think that growth is difficult to manage because you grow your business, you grow your headaches. Well, what we're talking about with omnichannel marketing and laying a solid groundwork for seamless customer experiences really does reduce the headaches and causes growth to be a lot less difficult and a lot more rewarding in your business.
Yeah, and I find that's just one aspect of why it's so important. But it's a huge one. I mean, really, it is. What you just talked about was huge. Of taking the time to do this makes it so much easier to manage because you're not running around trying to get all the different pieces, all the different um, things that you've done a little over here, a little over there, that you brought it all in one place and you know what your message is, you know how it's going to be delivered. And a lot of times, you can do research in that by looking at reviews and going through those reviews and seeing what you need to improve on. Where are you missing it? I tell people a lot of times when they say, I just don't know where to go do my research to find out what I need to get better at. I'm like, it's all right there. Go look at your reviews. There's your research right there. That's what you need to get better at. Your customers are telling you that, what you need to get better at. And if all you look at is all the great reviews, then you're missing the boat. Because where you learn is when we mess up, when we fall down. I mean, around here, when we take a misstep or whatever, that's when we have learning moments. If everything is always good, it starts to worry me because I think we start believing, that we're just the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I know better. I know we're doing things. I know we can improve. We got to get better. So I want to talk to clients. I want to talk to people that we serve. What can we do better? What should we be doing better? What can we pay attention to? What are we missing? I mean, those are the things that we need to know. So it's really, really important that you stay in tune with your customer, so that you can set this up correctly, and do it really, really well. I love this. Discipline is everything to do with talk the talk, walk the walk. That is so good. So good. Chuck, thank you for that. That is an awesome comment. I think that is so right on. Um, and yeah, I agree, Lou. I always like the good reviews better, but I'm telling you, even though I might like them better, I tend to learn more from the bad ones. Yeah. And a lot of times we stop the bad reviews, and I hope you guys are doing the same, learning behind the scenes. That's even a better way to do it. If you can have that opportunity, if somebody gives you a bad review, to be able to work those things out and turn that frown upside down, so to speak. I think is a good way to put it. So absolutely important.
To that point, omni-channel marketing again is going to work in your favor there to eliminate bad reviews or to take take the chances to learn about where you might have missed it in your business and how you can improve before it becomes a bad review, right? The more communicating you're doing with your customers, the more, and omni-channel doesn't just mean one way blasting your message out in all these different places and on all these different devices. It means listening to your customer in all these different places and on all these different devices. Your customers have things to say, and they want to work with companies who will listen to what they have to say. And so when I work with a plumber and I can text their office and get a response back about a scheduling question or about whether or not the person who's coming to my house got the message I had about the fact that there's a change order and I don't want that water heater. I want the bigger one instead, because it just, why not? Let's do it. Right. So, these kinds of things, I mean, communicating in real time using in my device and texting, that's a channel. I want to be able to do that with my customer. If I'm giving the impression to my customer that I don't listen to what they have to say, I don't use the convenient channels of communication that they would like to use with me, I'm sending subliminal messages, constant little messages that say, I'm not interested in what you have to say. I'm trying to fit you. You're a cog in my machinery at my business. I'm trying to fit you into the works here. And you just need to like what it is we do and take it the way we give it. And if you don't, go somewhere else. Well, what happens when that customer is not happy? Are they going to say, well, I feel like I need to have a conversation with somebody at the business and let them know about how I'm not happy? Or are they just going to go, yeah, they don't care. I'm just going straight to Google and I'm going to leave my review, right? So you've already let them know in a million different ways leading up to the chance for them to leave a review, whether or not you're even going to listen to what they have to say. And if you're not going to listen to what they have to say, they know that there's lots of other consumers out there who will. And sometimes they'll take that revenge and go drop a negative review on you because they never felt like they even had a chance to be heard by you.
I'm going to put something else I want to interject in because I think this is really important. What I see a lot of times is instead of business owners wanting to improve on what they can do and what they can control, they're looking outside of their competitors and complaining about why are they where they are when they don't do this and this and I do, or where does this happen with this and this and I don't. Those are things that no marketing company nor you can control because they're algorithmic changes that Google makes, that Facebook makes. I mean, Facebook right now is a freaking just crazy land. And I know we're on Facebook right now, and I hope somebody hears me and says, the numbers in Facebook that we're getting, we can't verify anywhere. So we're just kind of going, okay, because I don't think they're right. And nobody in my industry thinks they're right now. So I'm hoping that Facebook will listen and get that fixed because it's a problem. If you can't verify numbers from somewhere else, from a platform, that's a problem. You've got to have some verification in there to be able to say, yeah, that's close at least. But you can't run your business looking at another business and saying, well, why are they doing it and I'm not? Or, they met this guy over here and all of a sudden this guy goes, up like a rocket ship. Well, I guarantee you, once Google makes a couple of transitions and changes, it'll go down like a rocket ship. So, making those kind of comparisons instead of saying what I really need to do is build a system where I am working with my customers and my customers know that I'm working with them and that I'm giving them opportunity to communicate with me and make a difference and participate in what they want us to participate in. I mean, that really is what owners need to be doing. If I spent my time looking at other marketing companies at what they were doing and complaining about, well, I don't know why they get this and I don't, I'm missing the boat. I've got to concentrate on our business and what our business can do and doing the best for our customers. And you do that, you'll be successful. But I talk to so many different young companies that are trying to grow, and I see what they're doing right now. They're spending a lot of their time just looking at other companies and going, well, why can't I do that? And it's like, well, you can, but you can't do it by looking at that. You got to do this. You got to do the work. And so that's really part of what we're talking about. The work is building it omni-channel, building it to where it's really consistent, because again, I'm going to put this up here. Consistency is the key to omni-channel marketing, but it has to be consistent across the board. Guys, we really appreciate you guys' comment. That's fantastic. I have no idea who this person is that's come in, but yeah, okay. Consistency is still key. We love your comments. Thank you very much. But you have to be consistent in that. So again, guys, we're at about 20 minutes.
Well, let's talk real quickly just about one of the tools that we're bringing online this year.
Absolutely.
That helps with consistency, helps with omni-channel marketing, brings everything into one view, and gives you a way to communicate with customers regardless of what their preference is, whether it's text or email or phone, whether they come from Google ads or come from Facebook ads or your social media presence in any of the different places that you are. It gives you a healthy overview of everything that's going on and gives you a central place to be able to see your customer communications and communicate with them in the way that they prefer. It's called Customer Engine. It's new for this year. We're just rolling it out. And so if you're interested in that, I want you to call me or email me, carter@sparkmarketer.com, so that you have a chance to learn more about it. I'd be happy to show it to you and show you what we're doing. We're really excited about it. I think this is finally a tool that is bringing and making omni-channel, the promise of omni-channel marketing, accessible for small local service businesses. And it's the first time I feel confident that there's a tool that can do that for you and automate a lot of the communications that happen on a regular basis with your customers throughout the experience that they have with you, to do exactly what we've been talking about today. Make it seamless, make it consistent, and most of all, make it easy for the people in the office. If you're thinking, great, one more tool, one more platform that I've got to use, and it's double entry and everything, and we've got our field management software where we do dispatch and invoicing, but now I've got to take all my customer information and copy it over into some new system. I want you to contact me because I want to tell you we are solving the double entry problem. Okay, we've got tools now to be able to do that, and I'm excited to be able to show you how we can integrate with whatever system you're currently using. So if you're interested, please let us know. Contact us. This is going to be a big opportunity for you in the new year.
So Carter, contact Lou. He's already reached out. He's interested. So we'll do that. Thanks, Lou. I think you're going to be excited about this. This thing is cool. Carter actually showed me last week what they've worked on and how far they've come, because the double entry has been a huge issue. And I'll just tell you, it blew me away. I'm like, wow, so it will actually do that? You know, that's what I was saying. And he's like, yep, it will. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, we're excited. This is a game changer. It's going to be great for our clients and for anyone that's in a local home service business that is looking to automate and get more insight into their customers and all the different channels and platforms that they use.
And really what this means, so if you're one of the coaches that we work with, and we work with several, you need to also contact Carter and so that he can show you what this thing can do, because what it does, it gives everybody in home service businesses, to me, it takes the big dogs that are in the space, and nothing wrong with the big dogs. I'm not going to say who they are, but there's some really big dogs that are trying to kind of like take over everything. And so in order to get into something like this, you have to buy into everything they do. And a lot of people don't want to do that. And so they feel like they're just kind of left out in the space. And I'm not taking anything away from them, because if you want to do that, that's fine. But this gives everybody the opportunity to really get in and participate in omni-channel marketing when and they can use the software that they currently have to do that. So that's what's so cool about it. So I was really excited. Thanks, Carter. I just go on and just go through my deal, and so it's really good to have you here to interrupt me, because that is really cool. It's really a good thing.
Yeah, we're excited.
But I do want to let you know that Spark Live can now be found as a podcast. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, or your favorite player. I need to go. I need another job as an announcer. I think I'm finally getting my announcer thing going. So, and here's the really great thing about Omnichannel, and I love this next topic. I hope you guys tune in, because I think we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk about how people actually find businesses these days. I've been reading about some really interesting things lately about how people actually find a business. And it used to be pretty straightforward. And let me tell you guys, it is not straightforward today. So we're going to go through about some of the wacky ways people find you and have some fun next week. We are so glad that you are here. Yes, Chuck, I do have a face for radio. That's why I'm trying to get my announcing thing down. I don't have the voice like Carter, so I have to be a little bit more, I don't know. I gotta have to agitate y'all more with my voice and energy. How's that?
You do a great job, and I'm so grateful that you're doing it and not me. Because when I do it, I get all up in my head and I have to script it out. It takes forever. It's just awesome when you do it. So thanks.
So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We love all of you, and we are looking forward to a great 2022. We actually, I'm going to give you just a little insight on what we're seeing. We're seeing a downtrend on searches, not because of ranking, not because of what you're doing, but people just, I think, are tired of COVID, tired of being home. They're going out and doing some other things. And so we're seeing, kind of a downturn with searches. It's across the board in every industry we've looked. I've talked to other people in marketing companies and other industries. They're seeing the same things. They're thinking the same thing that we are. So I think omnichannel is even going to be more important than it's ever been before, because it's going to give you a way to really tap into your customer, have those communications with your customers. And also communicate with them year round in a way that you've never been able to do easily before. So I think it's going to be a great deal. Look forward. We're going to have the wacky truth about how your customers find you next week. Be some fun. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
Bye,
Have a
everyone.
great week.